Welcome to Ask the Lawyer radio podcast with attorney Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates. This podcast features a recording of our most recent radio show aired weekly in New York City. We hope you enjoy the show, which features news, views, and interviews on matters such as immigration, personal injury, bankruptcy, divorce, family law, estate planning, wills and probate, deed transfers, civil rights, criminal defense, workers' compensation, and taxes, both individual and business. You can contact us at 855-768-8845 or visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. You have questions? We've got the answers.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, an important observance designed to raise awareness about domestic gender-based violence and to show support for survivors. Are you in an abusive relationship? You can get a green card through VAWA. Domestic violence is against the law regardless of one's immigration status. Be a loving family member, good friend, and caring neighbor. Please share the following information.
How to get a green card. VAWA self-petitioner. Under the Federal Violence Against Women's Act, VAWA, you may be eligible to be a lawful permanent resident, meaning get a green card, if you are a victim of battery or extreme cruelty committed by a U.S. citizen, spouse, or former spouse, a U.S. citizen parent, a U.S. citizen's son or daughter, a lawful permanent resident, LPR, spouse or former spouse, or an LPR parent. These are some questions and answers regarding abused spouses, children, and parents under the Violence Against Women's Act, VAWA. Question: what if my Form I-360, petition for Amerasian widow, widower, or special immigrant, is denied? Here's the answer. If your petition is denied, the denial letter will tell you how to file an appeal. You may file a notice of appeal along with the required fee at the Vermont Service Center within 33 days of receiving the denial. Once the fee is collected and the form is processed at the Service Center, the appeal will be referred to the Administrative Appeals Office in Washington, D.C. Question: can a man file a petition for himself under the Violence Against Women's Act? Here's the answer. Yes, VAWA applies equally to victims of either sex. Question: do I have to remain married to my abusive spouse until my Form I-360 is approved? Here's the answer. Effective October 28, 2000, you may file a Form I-360 if you are still married to your abusive spouse, or in certain circumstances, if you are not still married to your abusive spouse. If you are not still married to your abusive spouse when you file Form I-360, you must meet one of the following exceptions. You believe you are legally married to your abusive spouse, but the marriage is not legitimate solely because of the bigamy of your abusive spouse. Your abusive spouse died within 2 years of filing the petition. Your abusive spouse lost or renounced his citizenship or lawful resident status due to an incident of domestic violence. Your marriage to your abusive spouse was terminated within the 2 years prior to filing the petition, and there is a connection between the termination of the marriage and the battery or extreme cruelty. The actual grounds of the termination of the marriage do not need to explicitly cite battery or extreme cruelty. After your petition has been filed, legal termination of the marriage will not usually affect the status of your petition. Unfortunately, current U.S. CIS regulations do not reflect these statutory changes and still state that you must be married at the time of filing. USCIS is obligated to follow the statute, and you are no longer required to be married to your abusive spouse at the time of filing. You may wish to seek advice from an immigration attorney or legal advocate regarding this provision. Question: can a divorced spouse seek relief by filing a Form I-360? Answer: yes. Effective October 28, 2000, you may file a Form I-360 if the marriage was terminated within 2 years prior to the date of filing. If you can demonstrate a connection between the termination of the marriage and the battery or extreme cruelty. An abused spouse who cannot demonstrate such a connection may be eligible for abused spouse cancellation of removal. To qualify for abused spouse cancellation of removal, you must meet the requirements that would be necessary for approval of a self-petition. In addition, you must have been physically present in the United States for 3 years immediately preceding the filing of the application for cancellation of removal. And you must demonstrate that your removal from the United States would result in extreme hardship to you or your child. Your Form I-360 will be denied if you remarry prior to the approval of the Form I-360. Remarriage after the Form I-360 has been approved will not affect the validity of the petition. Question: what if my abusive U.S. citizen or permanent resident spouse or parent or U.S. citizen son or daughter filed a Form I-130, petition for alien relative on my behalf, which is still pending or was withdrawn? Answer: if you are a beneficiary of a Form I-130 petition for alien relative filed by the abusive spouse, parent, or child, you will be able to transfer the priority date of the Form I-130 to the Form I-360. This is extremely important for you since it may result in an earlier priority date and a shorter waiting time for getting a green card. Question: can anyone else assist me? The answer: yes. Immigration law is complex. Ask the lawyer. Contact the law firm of Figueroa & Associates. Brian Figueroa, Esquire, is a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, AILA, and has been practicing immigration law for a quarter century. Call 855-768-8845. That number again is 855-768-8845, or visit www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us for a confidential consultation. Say no to green card slavery. You have rights. File an abused spouse petition. Call 855-768-8845 or visit www.askthelawyer.us for a confidential consultation. The lawyer you hire does make a difference.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, ask the lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.